Tell me about the story of Breakpoint. What is this film about?
It's about two knucklehead brothers. Well, one's a little more knuckleheady than the other, and it's on the surface it's sort of a sports movie, and takes the journey that a lot of sports movies take. But it's just really a great combination of a laugh riot that is actually believable and real.
And your character, you play the patriarch of the Knuckleheads. Tell me who you play.
Yeah, I play the dad, who's a pretty solid guy and a veterinarian by trade. I had my oldest friend in the world is a veterinarian, so I had a technical advisor on the phone, when I needed it. As you would expect, his sons are sort of estranged, and that's a source of frustration and sadness for the guy. And the journey of the movie is, is that gonna? I mean, for me, for my character, are they gonna come together?
And get their shit together.
Exactly.
And so you said that you had. So I know that Jeremy and David did all of their own tennis stuff themselves for the most part. Am I to assume that you also performed all the medical procedures yourself, or did you have a double?
I did do all the medical procedures myself. I was on the phone with my friend Paul, the veterinarian, telling me where to locate the bladder on an English bulldog. And I don't know that we ended up, let's put it this way, the frame line ended up above the inert bulldog for a lot of that scene.
Did you have to go anywhere you didn't really feel comfortable?
No, there was nothing nothing unpleasant. Jeremy's the one that had to, get into the unpleasantness with the bulldog, Barack.
And there's also a really great character, this little guy, Barry. Can you kind of tell me what his role is in the Knuckleheads and them kind of coming together?
Barry is an awesome character, and when I first read the script, I thought this is, with all the great characters of the brothers and the girlfriend and the dad, and really, in many ways, Barry is the greatest character in the piece, and Joshua just did a great job with it.
Yeah, he's adorable. What sort of drew you to this story? And I'm cheating because I saw your other EPK interview, and I know that family was, this very sort of realistic family dynamic was part of it. But can you kind of talk about why, you're kind of a big deal, my friend, and this is more of a feel-good kind of a comedy. What kind of drew you to it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get drawn to anything because of the genre or because it's dark or feel good or something. I get drawn to something that somebody really did a good job of putting it down on the page, and if it's Damien with Whiplash or Gene and Jeremy with this sort of knucklehead wacky sports comedy, if it's funny and real, then that to me is the ideal combination. And then as it was coming together with David and Amy coming on board, and and Jay as the director, it was just got to be more and more of a no-brainer.
What this was Jay's first feature that he was directing too. So what was it like working with him? How do you think he fared?
Oh yeah, he did great, and having a background in television and which is really, nuts and bolts wise, a sort of more difficult medium to work in. I mean, you really have to deliver, and it's in many ways sort of the perfect training to do these little indie films that don't have millions and millions and millions of dollars and don't have the luxury of time. To knock out a movie in 22, 3, 4 days is that television background is really helpful.
What was it like working with Jeremy and David?
It was great. Jeremy and I had worked together before, years ago. We did Law and Order together. I'd actually worked with his mother and his sister many years before that, and I'd been a fan of his for a long time, and David's as well. And David and I were actually running mates on network sitcoms the same year we did this, maybe? Yeah, I think so. I mean, they were both awesome, and both, so well suited for their characters, and just inhabited them so thoroughly that it was, playing their dad was just a walk in the park.
Jeremy's really good at being a smart ass.
He is, oddly. I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah, I think it hides in his hair. Here's a deep dive question for you. So the scene that you have with Darren, in the bleachers. I think it's at the Open,
Mm-hmm.
and you are telling a story about a donkey. Do you know? I mean, this is like an Easter egg. What was the actual story of the donkey?
I'm not at liberty to reveal the story about the donkey. I apologize.
It's fine. It's fine. Are you a tennis person yourself? Do you play?
You know, I wasn't. And then about a year before this movie, a year before we shot, my son started playing tennis. And because I think I had coached the baseball out of him after 6 years as his baseball coach. So between that and this movie, I actually picked up a racket myself. And now I'm sort of a tennis guy now.
Are you singles or doubles?
I'm mostly just still taking lessons and playing against my kids. So we play some doubles. I mean, there were times when all four of us, it's a family of four. So there were times when all four of us were on the court together, which is pretty cool.
What is it about? There's sort of a nice parallel between the two of them having to come together and also like playing doubles together. Like it's a nice medium for. Can you kind of talk about doubles tennis and what that means in the story?
Yeah, I mean, doubles tennis is I know enough now to know how different, a game doubles is from singles, and that need for, there's a reason that doubles partners are sometimes siblings or related. I mean, there's that unspoken communication that is intrinsic to being a good doubles team, And yeah, that's the journey that this movie takes, because they seem like polar opposites, and in a lot of ways they are, but, they got a lot of the same DNA, so that comes together on the court and off.
And where did you guys shoot this movie?
In and around L.A. I was lucky to do 3 little indie films in a row that all shot in L.A. that same year. So that's after I look for a really good script. The next thing I look for is, am I going to be able to go home and see my wife and kids at the end of the day? And that's a great combination.
Yeah, more movies in L.A.